Okay, so today we're going to be demoing the ODU 1112 Explorer. So, starting from finding the correct working end. For anterior teeth, we're going to find the end that wraps and adapts to the surface that we're working on. For example, if we're sitting at 12 o'clock working on surfaces away, we're going to find the end that wraps when pointed towards the surface away, wraps and adapts towards that surface. So in this instance, the tip of the instrument is pointing out towards the tissue. So let's try the other end. And now this end is wrapping towards the tooth. So when working on anterior teeth, we're going to insert at the midline and make small, overlapping, gentle strokes, rolling at the line angle into the interproximal area. And while sitting at 12 o'clock, we will do all of the surfaces away from us at one time before moving down to 8 o'clock to do the surfaces towards. And in the posterior sextants, in order to find the correct working end, we have two different ways that we can do it. When the instrument is pointed towards the mesial, when sitting on the buccal of the tooth, it should wrap and adapt towards the mesial surface of that tooth. So that end looks pretty good. And then this end is pointing out towards the tissue. So the first end will be our correct working end. And we're going to use the same working end for the entire buccal surface of the posterior sextant. We're going to insert at the distal buccal line angle and pivot into the interproximal surface. Then we'll take our instrument out, we'll twist it in our grasp and reinsert at the distal buccal line angle and work our way to the mesial, really rolling at the mesial line angle and pivoting as well. And the other way that we can find the correct working end is by placing the instrument interproximal and looking at the lower shank to see that the lower shank is parallel with the long axis of the tooth. And the functional shank, this part up here, will go up and over and towards the mesial. So if I were to try this end, the lower shank is going to be bisecting the tooth, and the upper shank the functional shank is going to be pointed toward me. So that would be the incorrect working end. And then again, this way, when placed interproximal, the lower shank is parallel to the long axis, and the functional shank goes up and over the sextant that we're working on. And one last time, inserting at the distal buccal line angle and working our way to the distal surface, and then we will take our instrument out, reinsert, and explore the mesial. So if we were to work the entire quadrant, we would start at the distal buccal line angle and work to the mesial. And do the same with each tooth.